This is Mrs. Ridgway, and I'm going to be covering Module 3. This is Word Chapter 3 in your textbook. We're going to learn about creating tables and a multi-page report. Turn with me to page 4, Chapter 3, page 4, to follow along. We're going to be working with headings in the navigation pane. When used in combination with the navigation pane, Word's heading styles make it easier to navigate through a long document and easier to reorganize a document. Subordinate headings are often referred to as subheadings. And so from within navigation pane, you can promote a subordinate heading to the next level up in the heading hierarchy. For example, you can promote a heading 2 paragraph to a heading 1 paragraph. You can also do the opposite. That is, you can demote a heading to a subordinate level. Look at the bottom of page 4. Number 1, navigate to the document Word 3-1 inside your Word 3 module folder. And this is what I have up on the screen. Then we are to name the document wireless. So we're going to save as, save it to your Z drive, and then name the document WD _3 wireless _ last name, and then save. Look at the top, your title bar shows that you have renamed or saved this document as wireless and your last name. Okay, top of page 5, verify that your document is displayed in the print layout view, which mine is, and that the rulers are turned on. Mine is. If yours is not, go to View and click Ruler. Also make sure that the non-printing characters are displayed, so you would click on Home and then go to the paragraph group of commands and click the backwards P to turn on the Show Hide button. Make sure the zoom level is set to 120, which mine is. If yours is not, just go to the lower right-hand corner and use the zoom bar. Now, we're going to use the Control F as in Frank to bring up the navigation pane. So, Control F brings up the navigation pane. It opens to the left of your document. In the navigation pane, you're going to click the Headings link. All right, so we're going to click Headings. The Headings, Pages, Results are located underneath the text box. We're going to click on Headings. The document headings are now displayed in the navigation pane, and the blue highlighted heading Summary indicates that part of the document currently contains the insertion point. Okay, step 6. In the navigation pane, we're going to click the Recommendation heading. So we're in the navigation pane over to the left, and we're going to choose Recommendation. Word displays the heading in your document window to the right. And it also has the insertion point at the beginning of the heading. The Recommendation heading is highlighted in blue inside your navigation pane. Step 7, in the navigation pane, we're going to click Survey Costs. Survey Costs. Word displays the heading in the document window. In the navigation pane, you can see that there are subheadings below this Survey Costs heading. Step 8, in the navigation pane, we're going to click the collapse triangle, which is next to the Survey Costs heading. The subheadings below this heading are no longer visible in the navigation pane. And this doesn't have any effect on your text in the actual document. All right, turn with me to page 6, number 9. In the navigation pane, we're going to click the expand triangle next to the survey costs heading. The subheadings are again visible in the navigation pane as they were before. The bottom of page 6, to use the navigation pane to reorganize text in your document. Step 1, in the navigation pane, we're going to right-click Upgrades. All right, so go to your pane, right-click Upgrades heading to display the shortcut menu. Then we're going to click Promote. The heading moves to the left in the navigation pane, aligning below expenditures headings. In the document window, the text is now formatted with heading 2 style with its slightly larger font. Step 3, in the navigation pane, we're going to click and we're going to drag Upgrades heading up. Okay, so we're going to grab Upgrades, and as we drag the heading, the pointer changes to a little bitty square and a blue guideline is displayed. You can use this guideline to position the heading in its new location. We're going to position the guideline directly below survey costs. So we're going to move this up and put it directly below survey costs, and that moves the entire paragraph in the document to the new location. On page 7, step 5, release the mouse, which I did, and the Upgrades heading, like I said, is in its new position. Step 6, we're going to click anywhere in the document to deselect the text. Step 8, page 8. We're going to be collapsing and expanding body text in the document itself. Because the navigation pane itself gives you an overview of the entire document, dragging headings within the navigation pane is the best way to reorganize a document. However, you can also reorganize a document from within the document window, which is on the right side, without even using the navigation pane. We're going to collapse and move a heading in the document window. The window is to the right. Step 1, in the navigation pane, we're going to click Recognition Heading. So let's scroll back up and locate Recommendation Heading to display it in the display. Let's see here. Navigation pane. So let me click on Recommendation. There we go. In the document window, place your pointer over Recommendation. Okay, and this will display the gray collapse triangle to the left of the heading inside the document window. Point to the gray collapse. Okay, I'm going to move over here so I can point, and it turns to a darker blue triangle. And then I'm going to click Collapse Triangle. The body text below the recommendation heading is now hidden. The collapse triangle is replaced with an expand triangle. Step 4, we're going to collapse the body text below the Conducting Wireless Site Survey heading. The body text below the heading. Okay, so we're going to click. The body text below the headings no longer visible. Collapsing body text can be helpful when you want to hide details in your document temporarily, so you can focus on a particular part of your document. Page 9, step 5, in the document, select the recommendation heading All right, so we're going to select it, including the paragraph mark at the end of the paragraph. And then we're going to click and drag the heading down as you would drag. A dark black insertion point moves along with the pointer. All right, so we're going to drag. See the little black line? Position the dark black insertion point to the left of the S in survey cost heading. And then we're going to release the mouse button. The recommendation heading and its body text move to the new location before the survey costs heading. Finally, you need to expand the body text below the two collapse headings. So we're going to click the little arrow to the left to expand the text. Okay, and then just click anywhere in the document itself to deselect. Step 9, point to the, okay, we did step 9, we did step 10, expanding the text information. Now we are to save the document. So just go up to the quick access toolbar and click Save. The document is now organized, and next you need to create a table summarizing data on a probable expenditure. All right, on page 10, inserting a blank table. A table is a useful way to present information that is organized into categories or fields. The complete set of information about a particular client is called a record. In a typical table, each column is a separate field, and each row is a record. Move to page 11. We're going to insert a page break, and then we're going to insert a blank table within our document. Step 1, in the navigation pane, we're going to click Expenditures in the navigation pane. This displays the heading in the document to the right with the insertion point to the left of the E in Expenditures. Number 2, we're going to close the navigation pane. All right, so let's close. And then we're going to press the Control plus Enter to insert a page break. Control plus Enter to insert a page break. The expenditures heading and the body text following it move to the new third page. And you can also see the page break in the paper. To remove the page break, you would just simply click on it and delete it. Step 3, scroll to the position, the expenditures heading at the top of Word window. Okay, we're going to go down here to the top of the window, and then we're going to press Control Home at the top of the word, okay, and then Control Home to move the insertion point to the blank paragraph at the end of the document. Okay, so I paused for a moment so that I could make a note in my textbook. Step 3 has an error. It should be Control plus End to get to the end. So I'm going to Control plus End to get at the end of the expenditures paragraph. Step 4, on the ribbon, we're going to click the Insert tab. So let's go up to the top and click Insert tab. In the Tables group, click the Table button. A table grid opens with a menu at the bottom. We're going to use the pointer to point to the upper left, right here, upper left cell of the grid. And then we're going to move the pointer down and across the grid to highlight 2 columns and 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 columns. Okay, as you move the pointer across the grid, word indicates the size of the table. All right, now step 7, when the table size is 2 by 4, which you see at the top of the little box, we're going to click the lower right cell, I'm pointing to it, in the block of selected cells. And it's inserted into the document itself. Turn to page 12. The 2 columns are of equal width if you look at the document. Because non-printing characters are displayed in the document, each cell contains an end of cell mark, and each row contains an end of row mark, which are important for selecting parts of your table. The table select handle is it's located the top left corner of the table, and it has arrows pointing up and down, left and right. The table select handle is displayed at the table's upper left corner. You can click the table select handle to select the entire table. I'm going to show you. Okay, I clicked it. And you can drag it to move the table. So you can use this to move around. You move it around in your document. You can also drag the table resize handle, which is the lower right side of the table. I'm pointing to it. You see a double arrow where you can move it in and out. The table tools design and layout contextual tabs are displayed on the ribbon. So look up at the top at the ribbon, you'll see table tools. You'll see design tab, and you'll see the layout tab within the table tools tab. All right, so the blank table is ready for you to begin entering your information. At the bottom of page 12, we're going to enter information in the header row of the table. The header row is the very first row. Verify that your insertion point is located in the upper left cell of this table. So I'm going to click, and it is. It's blinking. The cursor is there. And then we're going to type item. As you type, the end of the cell mark moves to the right to accommodate your text. Now we're going to press the tab key. The tab key is located above the caps lock key. So we're going to press tab, and this moves the insertion point to the next cell to the right. We're going to type cost, and then we're going to press the tab key to move to the first cell in the second row. So you want to remember the tab key. We're going to continue entering information in the table. Step 1 on page 13, type computer hardware. And then press the tab key to move to the second cell in the second row. Notice that the C in computer is capitalized, even though you typed it in lowercase. By default, autocorrect capitalizes the first letter in a cell entry. Okay, step 2, we're going to type $25,500. $25,500. And then we're going to press the tab to move the insertion point to the first cell in the third row. We're going to enter the following information using the tab key. Sound equipment tab. Oops, got to go back. Misspelled. There we go. This is $7,500. Press the tab to go to the next row. $850. At this point, the table consists of a header row and 3 records. You can add a new row to the bottom of the table by pressing tab when the insertion point is in the rightmost cell in the bottom row. All right, so step 1 in the middle of page 13, we're going to add a row to the table. So verify that the insertion point is in the lower right cell. And then we're going to press the tab key. A new blank row is added to the bottom of the table. Step 2, we're going to type servers and press tab. Cost is $15,000. All right, so we've completed our table, and now we're going to learn how to select part of a table. To select and format just the header row, we're going to position the pointer in the selection bar to the left of the header row. All right, so I'm going to take my mouse and I'm going to place it just to the left. All right, just to the left outside the box, okay, outside the table, and you should see your mouse. If you see a plus, that's not what we're wanting. We're wanting your mouse to be displayed just to the left outside the box of item. Okay, so the pointer changes to a right pointing arrow. Step 2, we're going to click the mouse button. The entire header row, including the end of cell mark in each of the cells, and the end of row mark is selected, okay? Now, step 3, we're going to press Control+B. These are shortcut keys to bold using your keyboard. So Control and tap B, and this will bold the heading. All right, step 4, click anywhere in the table to deselect the header row. All right. Now we're moving on to page 15, sort rows in a table. The term sort refers to the process of rearranging information in alphabetical, numerical, or chronological order. Okay, I'm going to turn over to page 16. Ebony would like you to sort the contents of the table in ascending numerical order based on the contents of the cost column. So we're sorting by the cost. So on page 16, step 1, make sure the insertion point is located somewhere in the table. I'm just going to click anywhere in the table. Step 2, on the ribbon, we're going to click the Table Tools layout. Table Tools, that's right above, you'll see the Table Tools, and we're going to choose Layout. Step 3, in the data group, which is located to the far right, we're going to click the Sort. It shows an A, Z with a down arrow. We're going to choose Sort. The Sort dialog box opens. Take a moment to review its default settings. The leftmost column in the table, which is item, is selected in the Sort by box, indicating the sort will be based on the contents in this column. Because the item column contains text, text is selected in the type box. The ascending option button is selected by default, indicating that Word will sort the contents of the item column from A to Z. The header row option button is selected in the lower left corner of the dialog box, and ensuring that the header row will not be included in the sort. Okay, so take a look at the lower left corner and it'll say My List Has. And so it's showing the header row. And we want to, the header row option button selected, okay, ensuring that the header row will not be included in the sort. Okay, but we want to sort the column by the contents of cost column. So we need to change the sort by setting. Step 4, we're going to click the sort by arrow, and we're going to click on cost. Because the cost column contains numbers, the type box now displays number. The ascending button is still selected, indicating that Word will sort the numbers in the cost column from the lowest to the highest number. At this point, if you wanted to sort by a second column, you could click the Then By arrow and then select the item header. Okay, so now we're going to click OK. Look at page 17. You should now have a different order of your items based on the cost, from $850 to $25,500. Ebony decides that the table should also include the cost for installing each item. So she asks you to insert an installation cost column. We're going to insert rows and columns in a table. To insert a column in the table, I'm on page 17. I'm on step 1. Verify that the insertion point is located anywhere in your table. So I'm just going to click to deselect, and then I'm clicking anywhere in the table. Step 2, position the pointer at the top of the table so that it points to the border between the two columns. All right, so I'm going to point up here between the two columns. The Add Column button appears at the top of the border. That's that little plus with the circle. A blue guideline shows where the new column will be inserted. So let's turn to page 18. We're going to click the Add Column to insert a new column. A new blank column is inserted between item and cost columns. The three columns in the table are narrower than the original 2 columns, but the overall width of the table remains the same. Okay, step 4. Click in the top cell of the new column, and we're going to enter the information that you see in step 4 using the arrow key to move down. All right, so we're going to type installation cost, down arrow, $600, down arrow, $1,000, down arrow, $1,250, down arrow, and $900. Your table should look like the one in the book, figure 3-14, after you enter the information. Because you selected the entire heading row, when you formatted the original headers, it automatically bolts. Okay, now we're going to be deleting rows and columns. Page 19, to delete the servers row. Step 1, we're going to triple click the cell containing the text computer hardware. All right, so let's do that. And then we're going to type workstation computers and server hardware. Part of the text wraps to a second line within the cell. Note that you could also click anywhere in a cell and then use the backspace or the delete, key to delete the text. And then you can type a new text. In other words, you can edit text in a table just as you would edit an ordinary document. Okay, next we're going to delete the servers row, which is no longer necessary. So step 2, we're going to click in the selection bar to the left of servers row. Again, that's going just to the left of servers. The rows, we're going to click in the selection bar to the left of server row. Okay, so we're going to click so that row is selected. The row is selected, and we have a little mini toolbar that's displayed on top of the selected row. Step 3, on the mini toolbar, just click delete. There's a delete button, so click on the delete. The delete menu opens, and so we want to delete rows, so we're going to choose delete rows. The servers row is removed from the table, and the mini toolbar disappears. Save your work. Go up to the quick access bar and save your work. All right, changing your column widths and row heights. On page 20, step 1, to change the width of the columns in the table. When resizing a column, be sure that no part of the table is selected. Otherwise, you'll resize just the selected part. All right, so step 1, we're going to verify that no part of the table is selected. And then we're going to position the pointer over the right border of the installation cost column. Okay, so we're going to place it right here until the pointer changes to, it looks like double lines with an arrow pointing left and right. Step 2, we're going to double click the mouse button. The right column border moves to the left so that the installation cost column is just wide enough to accommodate the widest entry in the column. Step 3, verify that no part of the table is selected and that your insertion point is located in any cell in the table. All right, I'm just going to click any cell. Step 4, make sure the Table Tools Layout tab is at the top and that it is selected. Step 5, in the cell size group, which is right below the tab the layout tab, we're going to click the Autofit button. All right, click the Autofit button, and then we're going to click Autofit Contents. Autofit Contents. All of the table columns adjust to that so that each is just wide enough to accommodate its widest entry. The text workstation, computers, and server hardware in row 4 is no longer wrapping to the second lines. All right, so now let's save the document. All right, on page 21, formatting tables with styles. Some table styles format rows in alternating colors, and this is called banded rows, while others format the columns in alternating colors, which is called banded columns. And there is a way that you can uncheck, click in to Click in a box to uncheck a feature that will remove banded columns or banded rows. All right, I'm at the bottom of page 21. Ebony wants to use a table style that emphasizes the header row with special formatting. Does not include column borders and uses color to separate the rows. So we're going to apply a table style to the expenditures table. Step 1 at the bottom of page 21. Click anywhere in the table and then scroll to position the table at the very bottom of the word window. All right, they just want us to come over here and make sure that we can see. Scroll to position the table at the very bottom of the window. This will make it easier to see the live preview in the next few steps. Okay, step 2. On the ribbon, we're going to click the Table Tools Design. All right, so we go back up to the top where the Table Tools tab is, and we're going to click the Design tab in the Table Styles group. And that's what this is right here, Table Styles group that I'm going across right now. The plain table grid style is highlighted. It's highlighted right over here to the left, including that it is the table's current style is what it's showing. All right, so step 3 in the Table Styles group, we're going to click the More button, and that More button is close to the shading bucket. So move to the right and you'll see an arrow with a little line above, and we're going to click it. The Table Styles gallery opens up. The default table grid style now appears under the heading Plain Tables. The more elaborate styles appear below in the Grid Tables section of the gallery. All right, on page 22, use the gallery's vertical scroll bar to view the complete collection of table styles. When you are finished, scroll up until you can see the Grid Tables heading again. All right, so we're going to go across and notice what it's doing as you're moving your mouse across each one of these. It's changing your table at the bottom of the screen. Okay, now we are to scroll up so that we can see Grid Tables heading. All right, here's the Grid Tables heading. And we're going to move the pointer over the style located in the 4th row, 1, 2, 3, 4, of the Grid Tables section, first column on the right. First column on the right. Let me see what this one is. First column on the right. All right, this is the Grid Table 7. Okay, since mine is laid out differently, according to the book, we're looking for, I'm on step 6. We are looking for the Grid Table 4, accent 6. So Grid Table 4, let's see what this is. That's 5, 3. Okay, let's see what's over here. Grid Table 4. There it is. Okay. Grid Table 4, accent 6. There it is. It's green. We're going to, let's see, click on it. Okay, and then you can see we're going to scroll to position the table at the top of the word window, so you can review it more easily. The table's heading row is formatted with the dark green shading and white text. The rows below appear in alternating colors of light green and white. The only problem with the newly formatted table is that the text in the first column is formatted in bold. Do you see that? It's all, the column is formatted in bold. In tables where the first column contains row headers, bold would be appropriate, but this isn't the case. So we'll need to fix this. On page 23, to remove the bold formatting from the first column, this is very important, so pay attention. Step 1, in the table style options group, table styles option group, look to the far left of your screen. We're going to click, see right now you see that first column is checked. We're going to click the box to uncheck first column, and it's going to then correct the bold formatting. It is removed from the entries in the item column. Note that the header row checkbox is selected. Okay, so now that they're talking about up here in the table style options, the header row is now selected. All right, now step 2, we're going to save. So go to the quick access toolbar and let's click to save the document. When a table has no borders, the rows and columns are defined by grid lines, which are useful as guidelines, but do not appear when you print the table. In the following steps, we're going to experiment with clearing the table style, displaying and hiding the grid lines, and removing the table's borders. All right, step 1 at the bottom of page 23. In the table styles group, we're going to click the More button as we did earlier. So let's click More. And then we're going to click Clear in the menu. So go to the far bottom of the box and click on Clear. The green shading and the borders are removed from the table. And next we need to make sure that the table grids are displayed. Step 2, on your ribbon, we're going to click the Table Tools Layout. So we're going to move from Design to the Layout tab at the top of the screen. And step 3, in the Table Group, click View Grid Lines. View Grid Lines. Okay, let's see here. We've got Layout. And let me locate that. View Grid Lines. There it is. Far left. View Grid Lines button. Okay. The table now looks much simpler with no shading or font colors. Instead, the table borders, which are dotted grid lines, separate the rows and the columns. Okay, now on page 24. Page 24. Step 4, on the quick access toolbar, we're going to undo. So go up and click the undo button, which is pointing to the left. And this will restore the grid table 4 accent 6 style so that your table looks like the one that you see in the textbook. Step 5, in the upper left corner of the table, we're going to click the table select handle. Okay, that's that little bitty square with the arrow pointing up, down, left, and right. Select the entire table. Click it and it selects the entire table. And then we're going to click the Table Tools Design tab. So we're going to go back up to the top and we're going to choose Design. Step 6, in the Borders group, which is located to the far right of the ribbon, we're going to click the Borders arrow. All right, and then we're going to choose No Border. And then we're going to click anywhere in the table to deselect the table. The borders are removed from the table, leaving only the non-printing grid lines to separate the rows and columns. To add borders of any color to a specific part of your table, you can use the border painter, which is also located in the borders area. Step 7, in the borders group, we're going to click the border painter button. Okay, border painter, looks like a little paintbrush. So click on it. And then we're going to click a pen color. Click the pen color arrow button. And this opens up the pen color gallery. Step 8, in the pen color gallery, we're going to choose orange accent 2 square. And I bet it's the first one at the top here. It is. So we're going to click on it. And step 9, use the border painter painter pointer to click any grid line in your table. All right, so I'm going to click here. And I'm going to click here. It's painting it orange. And here. An orange border is added to the cell where you click. I'm going to click here. I'm going to click and just drag down. Click and drag across. Click and drag down. And so that's how you add color. You can even go up here and change the width and make it thicker. So I'm going to choose like 3 point. Click here. Got to turn on the little border here. All right, it's going to do it. Let's see. We've got that. I've chosen 3 point. Let's do like 4.5 point. And I'm going to click on it. I don't know why it keeps going off, but should be able to make it thicker. There it goes. You just have to play with it. Start here. I may be just missing the line, but anyway, that's how you can do that. All right, on step 10, continue experimenting with your border painter pointer. That's a mouthful of words there. And then press the escape key when you're done. So I'm going to press the escape key, which is above the tab key on the keyboard. And that turns off the feature. Step 11, reapply the grid table 4 accent 6 table style. All right, so we're going to click this more button. And we're going to choose the grid table 4 accent 6 style to bring it back to how we originally had our table. Save the document and then close it. I'm going to go up to the quick access toolbar and save. On page 25, we're going to be adding formulas. Now that expenditures table is finished, Ebony would like your help finishing a table containing her estimates for the cost of the servers and the workstations. She might add it to the report later, but for now it's stored in a separate document. All right, so step 1 on page 25, we are to navigate to our Word documents and locate the 3-2 file document in Word 3 folder. All right, so I'm going to, let's see, I want to navigate to, so I'm just going to go down here and I want 3-2. And that brings up another document. And we are to name this document. All right, so we want to keep the original, so let's save as, file, save as, your Z drive or wherever you're storing, and type in WD 3 underscore, and we are to name this hardware underscore with your last name and save. Step 2, verify that the document is displayed in print layout, that your rulers are turned on, that the non-printing characters are displayed, and make sure that you zoom the level to 120%. Ebony wants you to insert a formula that sums the $3 amounts in the right-hand column. Step 4, we're going to click the blank cell below 14,000. So we're going to click inside this cell. Step 5, click the Table Tools Layout tab. All right, so we're going to go up to Layout at the top, and then we're going to the far right on the ribbon to choose Formula. So click the Formula button in the Data group. The Formula dialog box opens up, and by default, the Formula box contains equal sum above, which tells Word to add together all of the numbers in the cells above the cell that contains the insertion point, and then display the result of that calculation in the cell that contains the insertion point. Ebony wants the result of the calculation to display with no decimal places to match the dollar amounts in the cells above. All right, so we're going to click OK, and it has decimal places right here. So we're going to click the number format arrow. Number format arrow, which I'm looking for. Okay, so I see that I needed to bring back up the formula, so I clicked Formula box, brought it back up. Here's the number format and the arrow. So we're going to click this down arrow, and we're going to choose the first one. If you wanted to perform a calculation other than summing numbers, you could type a new formula in the formula box, or you could select an option using the paste function arrow. Using formulas other than the default sum formula is an advanced skill, so we're not going to worry about that in our class. All right, so on page 26, step 7, click OK. And that takes care of the formatting. The formula dialog box closes, and the result of your calculation is 25,000 without the decimal place setting. Step 8, we're going to click to the left of the 2 in 25,000. Oh, I don't want it. Well, I hope it lets us, okay. Let me see what happens. I'm going to type a $sign. Oh, okay. So that didn't work. The 2 in 25,000 and type the $sign. Okay, so I must have done something wrong. I'm going to bring this back up. Sum above. And then put it back in. That was good practice anyway. All right, save the document. The beauty of a formula field is that you can edit the numbers in your table and then quickly update your result of the calculation. Ebony wants to change the cost of the new workstations from 14,000 to 14,500. So we're going to click the 14,000, and we're going to change that to, you can backspace or delete and change that to 14,500, and then press enter. Whoops, wrong. Oh yeah, okay. We need to update, so we're going to right-click on here. That's what we need to do. Right-click the cell containing your formula field and update the field. There we go. Update the field. Okay, so on page 27, well, see, I was ahead of myself. That's where it tells us to update the field. Okay. Currently, the table contains 2 blank cells in the bottom row. Ebony could insert the word total in the cell next to the one containing her formula, but the table will look more polished if she combines or if she merges the two blank cells, which are just to the left of 25,500. So let's turn the page 28. We're going to merge the two blank cells, and then we're going to insert new text in the resulting cell. Click and drag the mouse to select the two blank cells in the table. In the Merge group, on the ribbon, choose Merge Cells. So click that button. The border dividing the two cells disappears, leaving just one large cell. Click the new large cell to deselect it. To move it closer to the cell containing the formula field, we've got to type, first of all, type total. Okay, and then we're going to write a line. Let's see, we've got to go to the Home tab. And then I'm going to write a line to move total to the right. Okay, let's see here. Closer to the cell. Oh, and I see that it is bold. So we now need to, on step 6, select the bottom row. And let's bold. There we go. Save the document and then close it. All right, so let's go up to the Quick Access toolbar and save. All right, so that concludes the first part of the module, and now we will move on to the second section of the module.